Hello and good morning. Let's take a look here. Well, if you have a $10,000 loan at 7.5%, what is the sales tax? Well, you got to multiply 10,000 times the rate, but you got to change that to a decimal, so 0.075. Remember, you got to move it two places. Say that to yourself, two places. Okay? Here you have a 7-line ad. First three lines are $40. So that's going to be $40 plus. Now you have $8 for each additional line. So it's going to be 8 times x minus 3, because the first three lines are $40. So you already have that accounted for. And there it is. So if it's 4 lines, then it's 4 minus 3 is 1 times 8. So it'd be $48. Make sure you understand that equation. Anything more than 3 would be $8. All right, next, copy this down. All right, today we're doing 4.2, which is measures of central tendencies. In this case, you have your numbers all lined up. Make sure you line your numbers up. Now count them. All right, these are 9 numbers. 9 is odd, so there'll be one in the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one right here is your median. And this is called quartile 2, median. Quartile 2. And then you take these numbers and you find the one in the middle here. Well, this is odd, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the one in the middle here, you have to add up 17 plus 21 divided by 2. When you add that up, you get 38 divided by 2. 2 goes into 3 one time, that's going to be 19. So this one right here, 19 represents quartile 1. And then up here you have 1, 2, 3, 4. The one in the middle, there isn't one in the middle. So you add these two up, you get 64 divided by 2, which gives you 32. So 32 is considered to be quartile 3. Now the box and whisker would look like this. So you draw a box with some whiskers. In the middle is your median, which is quartile 2. This is quartile 1. This is quartile 3. These are your minimum number and your maximum number. Okay? So in this case, this would be 15, and this would be 34. And that is called a box and whisker. Now from here to here is called the interquartile range. So the interquartile range would be Q3, whatever that number is, minus Q1. So in this case, Q3 is 32 minus 19. This is almost 20, so that's 12, so I guess it's 13. So the interquartile range is 13. And that's what we're doing here. So copy this down. The interquartile range is the middle 50% of the numbers. So from here to here is 50% of these numbers. Make sure you know that. All right, let's go on. Page 2. Copy this down. Here are the formulas for the outliers. You take quartile 1 minus 1.5 times the interquartile range is the lower outliers. Save these formulas, put a star by it. Anything lower than the lower outliers, you throw it out. Anything higher than the upper quartiles or the upper outlier, you throw it out. Okay, here's the formula. Q3 plus 1.5 times the interquartile range. And then finally, let's go to the stem and leaf. Copy this down. All right, so these are numbers. This key tells you what the numbers represent. So 1, 0 would be 100. 1, 1 would be 110. 1, 2 would be 120. 2, 1 would be 210. 350. 350. Okay? So whatever this is, it tells you what the number is. Like this one is 460. Okay? and then you got to line them up and do everything we did there. Box and whisker, we already talked about. We're doing two things today. We're doing this page, and we're doing worksheet. And let me see what this worksheet is going to be called. I think it's worksheet B. Okay, so this one is going to be worksheet B. All right, and worksheet B looks like this. Here it is. If you can't be with us, it's right here. You can always go back to the video. And then the second side looks like this. So again, you're doing two things. You're doing the book work and then this worksheet. All right, let's turn our attention now to college algebra. To do college algebra, we're going to go right here. Tell me the three forms of a line. All right, so the three forms of a line. So you have y equals mx plus b, ax plus by equals c, and finally the last one here is going to be y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Make sure you memorize these. Put a star by it. Write it down a couple of times. This one right here, they want the slope. To find the slope, you got to get y by itself. So you're going to move the 36. When you move it, it becomes a minus. Then you're going to divide everything by 9. This is your slope. That's all you want. So negative 12 over 9, you got to divide by 3. When you do that, you're going to get a negative 4 over 3. That's your slope. Rise over run. Graph it. Well, to graph it, you're going to need to know that. So that's going to be a 4, a negative 4. So you're going to go down 4, put a dot. Then you're going to go down 4 again, and then over 3. So it should look like this, and that is a negative slope. I missed my point, but that's okay. There it is. Let's talk about parallel and perpendicular right here. We did yesterday. So first you got to find your slope. So you got to get y by itself. So you're going to get negative 2y is equal to negative 4x plus 3. You're moving the 4x to the other side. You're dividing by negative 2. When you divide by negative 2, you get a positive 2. That's your slope. So it's going to be y minus the y. Make sure you use the second one equals the slope and then x minus 2. And there it is. And that would be parallel. To do perpendicular, you got to flip this. So it's going to be y minus 1 equals negative 1 half, and then x minus 2. Parallel, perpendicular. Through that point. Today's work is going to be worksheet B, and then you're going to go to the book. Make sure you're working quietly, because I'm going to come around and check it. And that concludes today's lesson. Now, if you can't be with us, the worksheet looks like this. You can copy it down if I don't have any extras. And the back side looks like this. Right here. And we're done. Okay? Here I want you to change these to perpendicular. Okay, make sure you flip it and change it. Say it to yourself. Do it with your hand. Excuse me. Do it with your hand. Flip it and change it. Okay, there it is. Have a good morning. See you guys in class.